me see. It's called The Evolution of Trust. Playing time, 30 minutes. By Nikki Case, July 2017. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. I have no idea what this is. I'm going to be completely honest. I have no idea what to expect from this. I saw like one screenshot of it, and it feels like it's going to be something based on that. It's not Prisoner's Dilemma, I don't think. I don't think it's Prisoner's Dilemma. I think it's something, that thing where you have to, well, maybe it's a form of like Prisoner's Dilemma, where, two people both vote one thing, then they share a certain thing. If one votes no and one votes yes, then the no person gets the thing. If both people vote no, then both people get nothing. That type of thing. But I'm not exactly sure. So I'm gonna check it out. Oh shit, I thought you had died. Why? Do I just give off the aura that I'm gonna die just spontaneously? Is that? Do I always just feel like I'm gonna die at any moment? Just gonna keel over? Please, I would sign me up. Take me off this mortal coil. Now. What? Where? What? On Discord? I've told you time and time again. Discord is not a good place to try to get my attention. Also, I'll be honest, probably not a good idea to try to get my attention at all. I was out and busy doing stuff. It's just not gonna work. I told you I was gonna be on tonight. Let me see. Yeah, some of these messages seem a little rough, dude. Be a little fair, man. I was out living my life. I was doing stuff. I've been waiting for an hour now. Jeez. Easy, dude. Easy. Yeah. Yeah, I was out doing stuff. It's surprising to know, especially lately, how often I've been streaming. But I do occasionally do other things than stream or play video games. Shocking. I'll just spend like an hour just moving these dudes around the screen. This is good. This is like the equivalent to, still have my cough. This is like the equivalent of like in Super Mario 64, where you can pull and stretch Mario's face. I'll just sit on the screen and do this. I just want to spend the time on the screen and do this. It's like you can't touch any of them because the moment you slow down and try to get it, they move away. Yeah, so I have no idea what this is. Like I said, I saw like one or two screenshots. I tried to vet it for it not being a thing that's going to get me banned on Twitch. And other than that, I've not done much research. And I don't know what this is, but we'll see. And then we'll switch over, and then we'll play The World Ends With You until my body collapses from exhaustion or something. Oh, that's loud. That's a good volume. Turn that down in my own headset there. Okay. Reading time. During World War I, peace broke out. It was Christmas, 1914, on the Western Front. Oh, see, I stretched the screen badly. Let me reset this, because there's like something on the bottom, maybe. Huh? Nope, that was not good. Control Z on that. Better, maybe? Good enough, I say. Alright, continue reading. It was Christmas 1914 on the Western Front. Despite strict orders not to chillax with the enemy. Oh, good. Chillax. British and German soldiers left their trenches, crossed no man's land, and gathered to bury their dead, exchange gifts, and play games. Meanwhile, it's 2017. The West has been at peace for decades, and wow, we suck at trust. Surveys show that over the past 40 years, fewer and fewer people say they trust each other. So here's our puzzle. Why, even in peacetime, do friends become enemies? And why, even in wartime, do enemies become friends? I think game theory can help explain our epidemic of trust and how we can fix it. So, to understand all this, let's play a game. The game of trust. You have one choice. In front of you is a machine. If you put a coin in the machine, the other player gets 3 coins, and vice versa. You both can either choose to cooperate, put in a coin, or cheat, don't put in a coin. You and other player. Let's say the other player cheats and doesn't put in a coin. Let's say the other player cheats and doesn't put in a coin. Let's say the other player cheats and doesn't put in a coin. What should you do? Well, okay. Let's talk about this. Let's think of this. I know this game theory. I know this is a very like I said, it might be prisoner's dilemma, but I'm not exactly sure on that. It's like a form of prisoner's dilemma. The question, what should you do? If you're going to present this type of thing to me, I'm going to think about this thing very logically and also like just talk about it for like an hour or so. So allow me. The question, what should you do, is kind of inaccurate because what should you do? Well, it's a moral thing. It doesn't matter what should you do because you could do either one and make a case for either one. You could cheat them because you're saying, well, I know that this person's fucking cheating, so I'm going to cheat them right back, right? Or you could say, well, I'm going to cooperate and just allow them to get coins for whatever reason, right? So this is weird already, but this may be the point. You know, I'm trying to big brain it right now, but this may be the point of this activity. So I don't know what exactly wants me to say, but presenting the question as what should you do is kind of weird to me. Let's say the other player cheats and doesn't put in a coin. I'll just say cheat, so that no one gets anything. Exactly. Why let that moocher mooch off of you? If you cooperate and they cheat, you lose a coin while they gain 3. However, if you both cheat, neither of you gain or lose anything. Therefore, you should cheat. Again, should is a weird word here. But let's say the other player cooperates and puts in a coin. What should you do? You should cooperate. Sure, seems like the right thing to do. Or is it? Because if you both cooperate, you both give up a coin to gain 3. Score, 2 plus 2. But if you cheat and they cooperate, you gain 3 coins at their cost of 1. Therefore, you should still cheat. But here's the thing. That is assuming that you want this person to lose out and lose coins. Like, who is this other person? Why would I want them to lose out on coins? You know? Like, who is what judge am I? Wouldn't I rather lift up every man and not just always be out for myself? Like, this is, I already feel like I know what this game is trying to do or present. But my mindset is no. I'd rather lose out a little. Than just be an ultimate winner. I'd rather everyone rise up. Come on, game. And that's our dilemma. Trust is nice, but it can let others take advantage of you, or shoot you as you come unarmed out of a trench. Sometimes distrust is rational, but now, what happens if we play this game more than once? That's a good point. If you play the game more than once, then you have past experiences. You know how that person is playing then if you play more than once. So it's not just a blind. Now let's play for real. You'll be playing against 5 different opponents, each with their own game strategy. With each opponent, You'll play anywhere between 3 to 7 rounds. You won't know in advance when the last round is. Oh, you won't? Okay. Can you trust them, or rather, can they trust you? Let's play for real. You're playing against 5 different opponents, each with their own game strategy. Me, in my red fez, would always cooperate. If they have the same rules that I do, why would I not try to cooperate originally out the gate? Why would I assume that they're going to try to cheat out of me? And if I'm thinking logically on my part, I'm always going to try to show that I'm a trusting person. Initially, I would always choose cooperate to begin. Total score, 2-2. Now, both of us know that we both cooperated there. We don't know if we're going to cooperate again. Both people could then cheat because they feel like the other person is going to cooperate again. They've shown that they can cooperate again. But again, me, I'm the person who's like, no, if we've cooperated together once, why would we not just both get +2/+2 each round? Look at this little fella. Me and this person, we're going all the way. This is great. This couldn't be going any better. Look at this. We're all rich. This is great. Alright, so we both became 10 coins richer. Seems great to me. Total score of 10. Now, I'm going to be completely honest. This hat this guy's wearing looks a little shady. This is a shady looking hat. So, like, I already am like, this guy looks like he's gonna cheat me as often as he can. But again, my own rule is always cooperate at the first. Alright. This motherfucker. Now I'm pissed. No, now I'm gonna cooperate again, and if he cheats again, he's gonna hopefully feel bad. Alright, well then we cheat now, right? Great. Look, we got nothing, dude. We got nothing, dude. And until... Now my rule is I cooperated twice in a row. Because my idea is this. I cooperate on the first round. This guy cheats. Alright, I'll cooperate again. You've already seen that I cooperated. I cooperate again. And if you cheat again, twice in a row, then I know some shady shit. And now you've got to cooperate first before I believe you. So again, until he cooperates to even it back out. Yeah. Until he cooperates, you get nothing, sir. You get nothing. That is the rules. I have rules. I have moral standards here. I will always cooperate with you. And we will succeed together. We will succeed together, Pink Hat Lady. Look at this. See how easy life could be? Do you see how easy life could be? We could make the world a better place. Look at this. Why would I be an asshole all of a sudden? Oh, this is another shady hat. This hat looks untrustworthy. But again, we cooperate. Oh, okay. So now we cheat. No, he doesn't get to play that. We both cooperated. He knows I'm trustworthy at this point. So now you fucked up. Now you fucked up, sir. Yeah. Look how easy this could be, man. I think, boil away this game, I think this accurately shows, like, what I'm, like, morality-wise. I'm not trying to say I'm, like, holier than thou or anything, but, like, this is exactly how I would play it. I'd be like, I'm giving you a couple chances, and you know that I'm full-on ready to cooperate till the end. And if you lose my trust, you have to gain it back. And your total score is 38, which is pretty good. The lowest and highest possible scores are 7 and 49, respectively. So who are these strange characters you just played against? Oh, this is weird. Okay, copycat. Hello, I start with cooperate, and afterwards I just copy whatever you did in the last round. Meow. Always cheat. The strong shall eat the weak. Fuck that guy. Fuck those people in real life. Honestly. Always cooperate. Let's be best friends. Love her. Or him. Grudger. Listen, partner. I'll start cooperating and keep cooperating, but if y'all ever cheat me, I'll cheat you back till the end of tarnation. That's probably a bit closer to me as like a person. Detective. First, I analyze you. I start, cooperate, cheat, cooperate, cooperate. If you cheat back, I'll act like copycat. If you never cheat back, I'll act like always cheat. First, let me reread that. I analyze you. I start, cooperate, cheat, cooperate, cooperate. If you cheat back, I'll act like copycat. If you never cheat back, I'll act like always cheat to exploit you. Elementary, my dear Watson. And what if these characters were to play against each other? It's tournament time. Each character will now play against each other character. That's 10 paired matches and 10 rounds per match. Who do you think will get the highest total score? Think carefully about it and then place your bets. Okay, let me think this through. Ooh, I really want to think this through. Forget who's who, hover buttons to see description. Always cooperates. Okay, so originally you want to say like all cooperate would probably lose out. Like that's the immediate gut reaction. But like you have to think about who they're matching against. So all cooperate. But like all cooperate is always going to have a good time against copycat. All cooperate's going to have a bad time against all cheat. Grudger and keeps cooperating until you cheat it even once. Afterwards, it always plays cheat. But all cooperate would have a good time against Grudger. Starts with cooperate, cheat, cooperate, cooperate. Afterwards, if you ever retaliate with cheat, it plays like a copycat. Otherwise, it plays like an always cheat. Detective, after it goes cooperate, cheat, cooperate, cooperate, then it's going to do 6 rounds of cheat on all cooperate. So we see all cooperate would have good time against copycat, bad time against all cheat, a pretty bad time with detective, and a good time with grudger. I'm really trying to think this through. I'm trying to like, I've had a few drinks tonight, so my brain is not operating at peak performance, but I'm trying. Copycat starts with cooperate. Copycat would have a good time with all cooperate. Have just a very like neutral, pretty neutral time against all cheat. Starts with cooperate and keeps cooperating. Would have a good time with grudger. And then have like a weird flip-floppy match with detective. All cheat. See, this is weird. All cheat would have a bad time with copycat. Would just keep scamming all cooperate. Would flat out only get 1 round from grudger. If you ever retaliate with a cheat, it plays like a copycat. Grudger. I'm really thinking this through. I'm like, I've never seen the Marvel movies, but I assume I'm like the Benedict Cumberbatch character. I can't even remember his name right now. I'm seeing all the possibilities float around me. Detective against copycat would be weird. Would just school all cooperate. really just sitting on the screen forever. I feel like this is a life or death type, like, choice for some reason. I'm gonna weirdly go detective. I think weirdly detective with its weird rules. No, but I'm thinking of the Marvel version of Cumberbatch. What's the hero he plays? But yes, I understand. It's funny because Cumberbatch is detective. I'm gonna go Cumberbatch. Doctor Strange. There you go. Thank you. I'm gonna go detective because I think there's like some weird thing. There must be some weird rule. Since it will be if it goes against all cooperate, detective is gonna dominate all cooperative. And then it will just match Grudger. It'll lose 3 rounds in this. Starts with cooperate, then it simply repeats whatever you did in the last round. I'm gonna go detective. I don't know. Alright, you place your bet in detective. Let's go through the matches one by one and see how the tournament plays out, please. Copycat versus always cheat. Total score. What is this? Match 1, copycat versus always cheat. Total score. Yeah, that's rough. You may be, let me see, match 2. Copycat versus always cooperate. +20, +20. That's pretty good. See, this is good. You may be skeptical about that Christmas true story about the World War I trenches. Surely that was just a fluke. Match 3, Copycat versus Grudger. +20, +20. Yes, the truce was dramatic, but it was neither unique nor unusual. Copycat versus Detective. Not every trench joined in the peace, but it was pretty widespread. Many front lines came up with the idea independently, and again, despite specific strict orders not to. Many front lines came up with the idea independently, and again, despite specific strict orders not to. Match 5, always cheat versus always cooperate. Yeah. Always cheat just dominated always cooperate. In fact, even before Christmas, several front lines already had established an unofficial secret peace. Look at this. Yeah. They called it the live and let live system. Basically, you don't shoot me, I don't shoot you. And this worked in a lot of places. Always cheat versus detective. Yeah. Won out basically the rounds that the detective was determined to do the spying work basically there. You may still be skeptical. Most soldiers don't spontaneously form peace with the enemy. So what's so special about trench warfare? What's so special about trench warfare? It blows. It sucks. Your life sucks during trench warfare. Well, here's what's unique about the trenches. Unlike most every other form of war, you have to face the same specific soldiers every day. That's a good point as well. It's repetitive. Match 8. Always cooperate versus Grudger. Okay. It's a repeated game, and that makes all the difference. Always cooperate versus detective. +27. Always cooperate. Dominated. Grudger versus detective. Anyway, and the winner is... Copycat. Apologies to your bet, detective. Damn. Copycat goes by many names. The Golden Rule, reciprocal altruism, tit for tat, or live and let live. That's why peace could emerge in the trenches of World War I. When you're forced to play the same game, the same specific people, not just the same generic enemy, over and over again, Copycat doesn't just win the battle, it wins the war. But if things change a lot, when you play multiple rounds of the same game, what if we play multiple tournaments? Now, let's let our population of players evolve over time. It's a 3-step dance. 1, play a tournament. Let them all play against each other and tally up their scores. 2, get rid of the 5 worst players. If there's a tie, pick randomly between them. And then 3, reproduce winners. Clone the 5 best players. If there's a tie, pick randomly between them. And repeat for as long as you'd like. Note, you don't have to wait for people to literally die and reproduce for culture to evolve. All that's needed is that unsuccessful behaviors go away and successful behaviors are imitated. So now, say we start with the following population of players. 15 always cooperate, 5 always cheats, and 5 copycats. We'll ignore Grudger and Detective for now. We're going to do the tournament, eliminate, reproduce, dance a dozen times or so. Let's make another bet. Who do you think will win the first tournament? Place your bets again. So the thing is, it's tricky because there's a lot more cooperates. So when they face each other, they're just gonna get their coins back, right? But when they face them, they're gonna lose out a ton. I'm gonna say copycat just because I feel like we're learning a lesson here. Makes sense. Copycat won the tournament last time. Why not again? Let's see if you're right. Oh, see? And then the take-all people reproduce faster. Yeah. The last copycat did not win. But at least they didn't do as bad as always cooperate. They got eaten up by always cheat, whose numbers have now increased by 5. But let's try a few more rounds of this. Always cheat is still growing at the expense of always cooperate. That squeak noise is great. And now all the always cooperates are dead. But wait! Aha, look at that. Now that the always cheat has eliminated the always cooperates, now this is where the copycats come back strong. That's right, the always cheats became a victim of their own success. They exploited the naive always cooperators, but once they ran out of them, they had to face the copycats, who are nice but not naive. Squeak! By simply copying the other player's moves, copycats can play nice with each other, while always cheats just cheat themselves. By simply copying the other player's moves, copycats can play nice with each other, while always cheats just cheat themselves. Not only that, but it also means copycat can give always cheat a taste of their own medicine. And so as a result, copycat inherits the earth. So in the long run, you're right, copycat wins. Always cheat may have won in the short run, but its exploitativeness was its downfall. This reminds me of a quote, "We are punished by our sins, not for them," by Albert Hubbard. Oh, and by the way, this result is similar, even if we put it Grudger and Detective back in. Note, sometimes a few Grudgers may stick around because when all players except Grudger and Copycat are eliminated, the two tie. So, it seems the math of game theory is telling us something, that Copycat's philosophy, do unto others as you would have do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Maybe not just a moral truth, but also a mathematical truth. However, there's a problem. Oh no, not a problem. Look around. The world's full of total jerkwads. If Copycat is the strategy in this repeated game of trust that's so powerful that even soldiers in World War I trenches independently evolved a similar strategy called live and let live, why then are there so many untrusting, untrustworthy people? What's causing our epidemic of untrust? The clue in that sentence itself, in this repeated game of trust. So far we've only talked about change in the players. What about a change in the game? What could lead to the evolution of distrust? Before everything goes to heck, let's start with something nice. Here's a world filled entirely with always cooperates except for one always cheat and one copycat. Use the buttons on the right to start the sim, go through it step by step, or reset it. As you already know, Copycat wins handily in the long run under our current rules. But that's under our current rules, which say that players play against each other for 10 rounds per match. Does Copycat still win at 7 rounds? 5 rounds? 3? 2? 1? Change the number of rounds with the slider below, then start the sim, and see what happens. Feel free to experiment. So again, current rules, we see the most trustworthy people get eliminated, and then we see the copycats come back. If we increase, increase, then it's fine still for the copycats. I imagine if you play less rounds, bam. And even less rounds is worse for the copycat. Oh, look at that. Copycat came back. Oh, wait. I went to 20. How did... I was like, wait, what the hell happened there? Okay. As you saw, I was very thrown off there. As you saw, if you don't play enough rounds that here, 5 or less, always cheat dominates. In 1985, when Americans were asked how many close friends they had, the most common answer was 3. In 2004, the most common answer was 0. Jesus. I just want to say, like, 0? We now have fewer friends across class, racial, economic, and political lines because we have fewer friends, period. And as you just discovered for yourself, the fewer repeat interactions there are, the more distrust will spread. No, mass media doesn't count. It must be two-way interactions between specific individuals. And it gets worse. There's another way to breed distrust. Here are the payoffs for the trust game. With the normal payoffs, copycat wins. But now change the both cooperate reward from +2 to +1, then click start. Even though +1 is still more than the punishment for both cheating, what happens? Oh, I can adjust the payoffs. I see. I was like... just fuck around with the numbers. Oh, look, you could breed out the... Interesting. Because you'd have to make cooperating worth a whole lot more, and then make it so that cheating is not valuable. Same thing happens with a lower win-win reward. Always cheat takes over. Game theory has two powerful ideas about this. Zero-sum game. This is a sadly common belief that a gain for us must come at a loss to them, and vice versa. You gotta fucking play the Zero Escape series. Zero Escape games. All about this. It's very good. Non-zero-sum game. This is when people make the hard effort to create a win-win solution, or at least avoid a lose-lose. Without the non-zero-sum game, trust cannot evolve. Speaking of which, let's now look at our third and final barrier to the evolution of trust. As cool as Copycat is, it has a huge fatal weakness I haven't mentioned yet. To understand the problem, let's say two copycats are playing against each other. Being nice players, both their first moves will be cooperate. And normally they just pay back each other's kindness and sing Kumbaya until the end. But what if, while trying to reciprocate goodness? Sure, mistakes can happen. Mistakes, miscommunication, misinterpretations, accidents happen all the time in real life. But if the other person doesn't think it was an accident... Oh no times 2, the other player being a copycat had to retaliate. And you, being a copycat as well, will also have to retaliate. Thus, like the Hatfields and McCoys, These two copycats will spiral into an endless cycle of vengeance. That started over a single mistake long ago. Tragic. But now, there are other types of players who can deal with mistakes. Let's meet some new faces, or new hats anyway. Copy Kitten. Hello, I'm like Copycat, except I cheat back only after you cheat me twice in a row. After all, the first one could be a mistake. See? I'm like the Copy Kitten. I am the Copy Kitten in life. Simpleton. Hi. I try, start, cooperate. If you cooperate back, I do same thing as last move, even if it mistake. If you cheat back, I do opposite thing as last move, even if it mistake. Okay. Random. Monkey Robot. Ninja Pizza Tacos. Lol, I'm so random. Just place cheat or cooperate randomly with a 50% chance. Alright. See how well these peeps do when they play in a tournament. Let's start with the doesn't always cooperates versus our old winner, the fair Copycat, and our three new characters, the forgiving Copy Kitten, the dull Simpleton, and the silly Random. In each round of a match, players have a small chance of making a mistake. Let's say 5%. Who do you think will come out on top? Think carefully, then place your bets. I'm gonna say it can't be Random. Random seems not likely, because there's no rhyme or reason. Plus, it's not really repeatable, right? So how would the game be able to prove that a random person, that feels like a bad choice? What is simple to do? Starts with cooperate, then if you cooperated it in the last round, it repeats its last move, even if it was an accident. But if you cheated in the last round, it switches its last move, even if it was an accident. I'm gonna actually say Simpleton, because Simpleton's gonna have a good time against like the all cooperate. Simpleton should have a good time, I think, with Copy Kitten. I'm gonna say Simpleton. Alright, you bet Simpleton. Let's find out. Use the controls to your left. Oh my god. I'm right. I couldn't be more right. It just makes sense. You were correct. Simpleton wins. This is because Simpleton is actually capable of exploiting always cooperate. They both start cooperating, but if Simpleton makes a mistake and cheats, since always cooperate never retaliates, it'll keep cheating them. Exactly. They have a small chance of... Yes. Same thing as before, except instead of half always cooperate, it's half always cheat. It's a much less forgiving, more hostile environment. Who do you think will win now? Think, then place your bets. I'm gonna say... I think Simpleton would have a harder time here. But if you cheated in the last round, it switches its last move. So it's gonna keep putting like cooperate against these always cheaters. All cheat will always get rid of all Copy Kitten. Random again is just random. I think it's gonna be Copycat or all cheat. Give me Copycat. Good guess, but someone else took the prize. Copycat wins this time. Surprising that with an even meaner starting population, Copycat, a more forgiving version of Copycat, was the most successful. Note, Copycat is so forgiving, it doesn't even entirely wipe out Copycat, it shares room. In this case, a bit of miscommunication, 5% chance of mistake each round, could lead to more forgiveness, but is this true for all levels of miscommunication? Use the slider below to change the amount of miscommunication, then hit start at 5%, Copykitten wins. What happens at 0% or 20% or 50%? It only goes up to 50% because at that point every move is a coin flip. That's a good point. During each round, there's a 5% chance a player makes a mistake. Let's start at 0. What happens at 0? So it's like the inverse then. It's the inverse of what we saw at the other thing. So you would have to throw in a bit of a, like, 5%. Then Copykitten is fine. Copykitten would outweigh Copycat a bit. I would imagine if you increase that. Oh. So if there's more chance of a mistake, then Interesting. The results turn out something like this. At 0%, the fair Copycat wins. At 1 to 9%, the forgiving Copycat wins. 10% to 49, the unfair, unforgiving, always cheat wins. At 50%, nobody wins ever. This is why miscommunication is such an interesting barrier to trust. A little bit of it leads to forgiveness, but too much of it leads to widespread distrust. I think our modern media technology, as much as it helped us increase communication, has increased our miscommunication much more. At last, let's experiment with all the numbers, the knobs and sliders. Let's play in the sandbox. Note, sandbox mode is totally optional. Feel free to skip it or play around. Once you're done, let's recap. I'm just curious, like... Yeah, simpletons, yeah, simpletons, rise up! Rise up, simpletons! Rise up! Fucking rise up, simpletons. That's what I needed to see. I just wanted to see them win. Alright, game theory has shown us the 3 things we need for the evolution of trust. Repeat interactions. Trust keeps a relationship going. But you need the knowledge of possible future repeat interactions before trust can evolve. 2, possible win-wins. You must be playing a non-zero-sum game. A game where it's at least possible that both players can be better off. A win-win. 3, low miscommunication. If the level of miscommunication is too high, trust breaks down. But when there's a little bit of miscommunication, it pays to be more forgiving. Of course, real-world trust is affected by much more than this. There's reputation, shared values, contracts, cultural markers, blah, blah, blah. And let's not forget the biggest lesson. If there's one takeaway from all of the game theory, it's this. What the game is defines what the players do. Our problem today isn't just that people are losing trust, it's that our environment acts against the evolution of trust. That may seem cynical or naive, that we're merely products of our environment. But as game theory reminds us, we're each other's environment. In the short run, the game defines the players, but in the long run, it's us players who define the game. So, do what you can do to create the conditions necessary to evolve trust, build relationships, find win-wins, communicate clearly. Maybe then we can stop firing at each other, get out of our own trenches, cross no man's land to come together, and all learn to live and let live. A Christmas truce between opposing trenches. P.S. Want more learning by playing? Check out Explorable Explanations. Test tube games. Just gonna collect these triangles here for a sec. Almost got them all. Now, disperse. That was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. I've always, I mean, me as an... I was gonna say me as an intellectual. Me as an intellectual, I'm always interested in game theory type stuff. I'll highly recommend, if you end up watching this archived or whatever, the Zero Escape series of games that are heavily visual novel based, and as the series goes on, goes really into like game theory and everything. Very interesting games. Highly recommend. I really like the first 2 games, especially in the series. The third one's a little wonky, but it is what it is. Game theory stuff is always super interesting. I think, like, Prisoner's Dilemma is really cool as a concept. The Monty... What is it? Monty Hall? Monty Hall something? Monty Hall problem? I guess they just call it problem. Okay, I'm done with you. The Monty Hall problem is another one that I'm like a big... Oh, this isn't going to show up well on screen, but it is what it is. Is always like a favorite of mine. Suppose you're on a game show and you're given the choice of 3 doors. Behind one door is a car, behind the other, goats. You pick a door, say number 1, and the host says, who knows what's behind the door? Opens another door, says number 3, which has a goat. Then he says to you, do you want to pick door number 2? Is it your advantage to switch the choice? The option is, you always switch the choice. The Monty Hall problem. It's an very interesting concept. Very interesting. I didn't read it correctly. Like, it probably made no sense when I read it there. But yeah, the Monty Hall problem is maybe like my favorite like game theory thing, because it's like, it's so, like, it makes sense when you think about it, and then when you increase the numbers, then it goes, oh, of course you would, of course, always switch, right? But it's just one of those things where you're like, when you first think about it, you're like, hell no, why would I always change? You know, whatever. But I love the Monty Hall problem. Big fan. First recommendation that you actually... Yeah, you heard it here first. The Evolution of Trust. Way better than Outer Wilds. Take that to the bank. Take that to the bank.